Before listening to this episode about Light Sleeper, please consider that the movie we discussed today contains themes of drug use and dealing, emotional abuse and manipulation, sexual assault, suicide, and general violence. And if you need to skip this episode for your own safety, we totally understand and hope you come back again next week.
Be safe with your feelings. Take care of yourself first.
For a few seconds, this place was Armageddon. There was a firefight!
Fuck you think you're doing?
You were asked a direct question, do you use cocaine?
Am I a bad person?
You never killed a baby!
You want to know who my God is?
Some huge friggin' guy.
She somehow fornicated.
Put your mouth on this.
Fish aren't meant to be in a box, kid. Can't you see what's inside of me?
Welcome, everybody, to Willem to Filmography, the podcast where we nut in your dad and oops, he's pregnant now. I'm one of your hosts, Cyan Stone.
I'm not affiliated with this person in any way, shape, or form, but also the other one of your hosts, Jeff Whaley.
It's a good thing Jude isn't here right now because, I don't know if you knew this, audience, he hates pregnant men.
He's also the editor, so this is going nowhere.
We are under tyranny. Let's check in with...
the tyranny of the minority.
Let's check in with our other host, Jeff Whaley.
This is a pro-MPEG podcast.
MPEG, you fucking imbecile.
You know what? I stand by it. This is a pro-pegging podcast.
Well, that's just assumed.
Yeah, right? Yeah, too many queer people for that not to be true. I am doing good. There's definitely been life things that I've had on my mind, and I've completely forgotten all of them the second we started recording because, haha. Yep, no, that's all I got.
Unfortunately, during the Fishing with John episode, I did die from exposure to the elements. I got better. However, Jude went off looking for me in a vain hope of returning me before my time had come. And unfortunately, Jude has also succumbed to the elements of northern Maine? Was that what it was?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool. Last we heard, he was hungrily crawling towards the frozen corpse of John to try and eat it. We assume the worst. Willem Dafoe.
What? That's what I mean!
All right. In this movie, Willem Dafoe plays a guy that the writer is way too fucking infatuated with and doesn't realize is a piece of shit.
I have one. In this movie, Willem Dafoe plays your friendly neighborhood drug dealer going through his drug dealer no more arc. Yeah.
And just like, we'll talk about it. Take it away, summary boy.
This movie is 1992's Light Sleeper. Might as well put this in here now. Directed by Paul Schrader, who wrote Taxi Driver, wrote and directed American Gigolo, and wrote and directed this. And this is his third in a Man in a Room series.
The Rob Schneider movie?
No, that's Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. American Gigolo was a contemplative Richard Gere thing.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
I was going to say, if he wrote both Taxi Driver and Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, I would be like, okay, there's a reason I don't need to check out any of the rest of this guy's stuff. It sounds like he's awful.
Well, good thing that's not the case, because this is the first of 7 times Willem Dafoe and Paul Schrader worked together. So that's the most, the director he's worked with the most. So we have 6 more movies of his to watch.
Are we going to have to watch Taxi Driver?
No, because that was Martin Scorsese directed that.
Okay, because Jeff, I've already said this to you. The worst people I know love Taxi Driver for the wrong reasons, and it just does not interest me.
They met on the set of The Last Temptation of Christ.
I was going to say, Willem Dafoe was on
Nope, yeah. No,
Passion of the Christ? Was he just hanging out on set and was like, I probably shouldn't be here?
This is completely different vibe than my Jesus movie.
Yeah. Yeah, this feels anti-Semitic, and then they got, what's his name? It wasn't Kevin Sorbo.
Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel, yeah. God, can you imagine if it was Kevin Sorbo? I might have actually watched it if it was Kevin Sorbo getting tortured for 2 hours. But anyway.
I was still too big of a fan of Hercules to realize how big of a piece of shit he was. Light Sleeper.
Yeah. Light Sleeper.
The opening credits run over a melancholy song as the camera pans over a cobblestone road before connecting to a modern, busy New York City street.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I truly adored the music in this movie. I fucking loved the entire soundtrack.
The music is pretty good. I think it's what fooled me into really getting into the vibe of this movie early on.
I'm going to front load some more facts about this movie here.
Mm-hmm.
So, from a Filmmaker magazine, from a 1992 interview, right around as this movie was coming out. During the interview, the interviewer asked, you scored Light Sleeper with rock ballads that have an almost literal relationship to what's on screen. The approach makes the film feel warmer, but it also makes the emotional drama kind of obvious. And Schrader's response was, yeah, I don't mind that. Some people have said that it's a little too obvious, but I like it. He says, but the idea, even from the script stage, was to have a third voice for the character. He has his dialogue voice, his diary voice, and his song voice, which is the most romantic voice. So the music was supposed to be directly in your head, and that's why it's so obvious and on point.
Okay.
Which I really liked. And also, it's kind of the pretentious version of the Garth Marenghi Dark Place meme. I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
Which you actually believe, and it drives me crazy.
I don't actually believe, I just appreciate it. I understand the joke behind it, but I also kind of like the balls of it at the same time.
The whole point of that character is he sucks.
Yeah. But also sometimes fuck subtext.
Yeah, I go back and forth because obviously there's movies where I really fucking hate it, like Statutory Rape Biker movie. What was it?
The Loveless.
Yeah, The Loveless. that one.
Hey, that this podcast has made us know what you meant when you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just all the music in that movie was super obvious. I should have realized sooner how obvious the music is telling you how to feel stuff was, because then I would have realized that what I wanted this movie to be wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we get to David Spade snorting something and talking to something.
We see John Latour, played by our boy Willem Dafoe, being driven around New York and stops at a video rental place, which is a place where you used to rent video, kids, to make a drug deal. While driving, we get a narration.
I wouldn't be surprised if video stores come back in the next couple decades.
People are really liking the idea of physical media again, and record stores have found a place. So I feel like video rental places could too.
Yeah, people are getting to the point where they're like, "Can we own anything?" And also, I really appreciate it.
Your public library usually has a really good big video section too. So if you're broke and don't want to rent it, just go to the library. Always use your library.
If you're wondering where that is in your library, it's in the back section where they make you wear white gloves to handle the ancient texts.
The ancient texts of DVDs.
Exactly. that was indeed the joke, Jeff.
I know. I just had to say it out loud and laugh at it because I hate you.
Hey, I was around when Blu-ray came along. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, it's weird that this is just kind of hitting everything. And then now everything's digital. You see, back in my day, kids. No, because I grew up around internet porn. We didn't have the weird magazines in the forest that people left.
In theory, I did, but not a lot of forests in that area. What I had was, in the early 2000s, was the one porn DVD that got passed around all the boys.
I believe we've talked about this on another episode before.
Yeah, and I'll bring it up again, baby.
Yeah.
2003 Montana was weird. Also real.
2026 Montana is weird because it only exists in your head.
More evidence of that. Montana has 2 transgender members of their state house thing before California has even had one.
Yep. That's how you know it's imaginary.
Yeah, right. So while driving, we get a narration from the tour writing in his diary about his repetitive life before going to Anne's, played by Susan Sarandon.
Who they made... Oh, man, I hate what they did to Susan Sarandon in this movie. They made her so casually racist. Just... Don't tell me you didn't catch that,
at the very
Jeff.
end. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Not even just at the... There were hints of it with the accountant.
Yeah. See, I think... I see what you're saying now. I read it completely differently.
If it hadn't been for the second part where she just casually called her gay roommate a fag, and the Latino gang member at the end, a word that I will not repeat.
Hey, and the funny thing about that, you can pick which Hispanic slur you want to use, because we have a lot of them in this country, sadly.
Yeah. With someone as hot as Susan Sarandon, it really does confirm for me that I am demisexual, because as soon as she started saying all that shit, I was just like, oh, I do not like this Susan Sarandon. Get her away from me.
I did not make that connection, and I should have. I was just like, it's the 90s. Everyone said this shit, but also, that's bad.
People were real racist in the 90s.
The one time on the internet,
in an equivalent but different way from now.
The time on the internet, I've seen so many people say we weren't racist in the 90s, and I just have to be, what? What? You were a child, I guess, so you didn't see it, but it was there.
Absurd. I was 5 when the 90s ended, and I know that the 90s were racist.
Going to Anne's, his supplier, because he sells for her, to talk shop with her and her other seller, Robert, played by David Clennon, whose role is to just kind of...
The aforementioned fag.
Yep. Whose role is to just make quips when they're together.
The way you know he's gay visually, and I only realized this after she called him a fag, is like he wears like the one earring in one ear, but he has it in his left ear, which I thought the whole like gay ear thing that was around for a while was the right ear.
Truly, it's different wherever you are, and I feel like for the most part, it's just like a fictional thing that people say whatever it is to like make fun of the person who has an earring in that particular ear. Like, or it's an East Coast West Coast thing. Like, but it's not particular.
That's what caused the beef between Biggie and Tupac. They just could not agree on which one was the gay ear. It's a shame that's what they both died for.
Yep. So many jokes I'm not going to make because it's just...
I'm not even sure if I should have made that one. Anyway, continue.
Right? The next day, John talks to a lower-level dealer named Jealous, played by Sam Rockwell.
For a scene.
Yeah, but it is very... Young him was a dirtbags in a lot of things, and like I think I think this was the movie he made. He either made this or one other movie, but like just before this, he made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just love that these two movies are so close together in his filmography.
I had forgotten that he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've always just pictured Sam Rockwell as the guy who kind of looks like Edward Norton and has always been about to turn 40.
Yes. So, yeah, Jealous warns John about the cops going after mid-level dealers after a college girl was found murdered in the park with coke in her system. Back at Anne's, they talk about Anne trying to get into cosmetics industry. Did not write down the name of their thing. It was like Americ or some vaguely...
I don't know. I feel like all of that could have just been dropped.
The point of that was to show that someone else is... Because this whole movie is like midlife crisis. That's what this movie is. Schrader was going through a midlife crisis and wrote this movie.
People who are way too old to be drug dealers trying to figure out a way to not be drug dealers anymore.
Yeah, and it's like, this is what I've been doing for so long. How do I do something else now that this is no longer viable?
Yeah, it's just like, between that and the constant conversations around horoscopes and shit, all of that. This movie felt so bougie, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think that was kind of the point. They made plenty of lines of like, yeah, it's more expensive because it's like less problematic. Yeah, it's because the cops aren't going to worry with you as much because you're white. We're going to force you to cause more. So they played with that purposefully. It was very much like, yeah, we're going to bilk bougie people and force them to pay higher for drugs because they will.
Yeah, I missed that line, I think.
They mentioned that a few times. It was like, you want high-end prices. Yeah, you want high-end drugs, you're going to pay high-end prices. If you want to go out in the streets and risk it, go for it. It was something like that.
Okay. I do remember those lines. I don't think it clicked in my head. I did write down, this is a little past where you are, but like, I wrote at 20:05, this is like what my rich aunt would think drug dealing is if she really wanted to be a drug dealer, and I kind of love it. I was kind of buying into the vibe of the movie at this point. Because it was such theater kids trying to be drug dealers energy.
Yeah,
didn't realize that that's what it was.
Well.
There's a kick later that that really cements that for me, and it's pretty great.
So yeah, talk about Anne trying to get into cosmetics industry before getting a call from a client named Eddie. Latour tries to talk Eddie out of the bender he's on and like gives him like, I'm not gonna give you everything you want because I don't want you to fucking die because that'll look bad on me.
Yeah.
Then after that, we cut to Latour watching a coked up David Spade in his underwear talking about God in a real jump scare of a cameo. Yeah. And this was when David Spade was in New York for SNL. So headcanon, that is just David Spade. He is playing himself in this movie.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
honestly. I bet he had that exact conversation in those exact circumstances, except for the drug dealer part with Chris Farley. Like very Catholic Chris Farley trying to argue the existence of God to him while both are on so many drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. On the drive back, John comes across his ex-wife, Marianne, played by Dana Delaney. Oh,
I forgot. But before you get into that,
yes,
I in my notes around when David Spade is talking, I thought it weird that this movie was trying to say that the obligation is for the drug dealer to hang out with the addict as opposed to the other way around, which is how I've mostly heard it.
I think it depends on the drugs. Marijuana maybe tends to be the dealer wants you to hang out with him. I feel like on Coke's more of a party drug, more of a social drug. And so if you're delivering it to someone, they want someone to talk to. And if there's no one else, they're going to ask you to be there. So I feel like, I don't know. I have not done cocaine, so I have, but yeah, from deducing that it probably seems more like that.
This guess is coming from an ex-Mormon Montanan.
Who has never illegally bought weed.
Wow.
I had friends want to smoke. I've had friends who smoked it and would always offer me, so I just.
I've never either, but I'm 30.
Yeah, I'm 8 years older than you. I probably should have, but I don't know. I never needed to do it by myself, and it was just a thing that other friends would always be able to do. So I just.
You probably thought Joseph Smith would take a hammer to your pinky toes, like they all believe what happens when you sin. Is that close? Am I close there? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's Joseph Smith's like the mischievous devil, right? He's like.
Absolutely not.
Hee-hee-hoo, I have a lot of wives and a ball-peen hammer.
Now, to be fair, I did a road trip with my grandparents once, and they had an audiobook about it was like an audio play thing about the early life of Joseph Smith. And they portrayed him as a typical, like just before God visited him at 14, they treated him like a typical, kind of mischievous teenager. So it's one of those things where you're not entirely he does have that aspect of it in the past. And looking back, they did that so that when 13-year-old me was listening to it at the time, I could be like, oh, okay, it's okay to be a little, it's like, so, like, oh, I know exactly why they did that now. To make people feel okay with being a little shitty, but also, look at what this 14-year-old did. You better be godly soon.
I feel like that's normal across denominations, of like weird, like evangelists do it the best, where like, a guy who has never done anything interesting in his entire life will be like, I smoked weed once and almost came close to the devil. And that's why you shouldn't smoke weed, kids. But yeah. Anyway, what? Light sleeper.
Yeah. On the drive back, John comes across his ex-wife Marianne, played by Dina Delaney, gives her a ride. Marianne explains how she's sober, and John tells her he's straight because he's not doing drugs anymore. Still,
yeah, he's lying. He's not doing drugs, but he is like an alcoholic, which they don't really portray as having any consequence at all.
Nope. And he never says he was sober. He says he was straight. I feel like that is a specific difference. Maybe I'm wrong.
If that's where like straight edge comes from, then I'm guessing it means anything.
If that's true, then yeah, he's lied. I just assumed it meant I'm not doing drugs.
Well, he lies and oversteps boundaries constantly in this movie, and
he does do that.
It's never
when he says he's
portrayed
straight
as like a thing that should weigh on him.
When he says he's straight, he's also saying, I'm not dealing anymore, and then instantly gets a pager beep, beep on his pager, and it's like, okay, I'm dealing, but I'm not doing it, and it's like, well, you shouldn't have lied. Yeah, so Marianne stops the car for fear of being around the world again. Then the movie briefly becomes a music video with John sadly looking at photo albums of a sappy love song. And it was such 90s country ballad music video, but I loved it so much.
It was just established that these two knew each other. We don't find out until later that they were technically married.
It implied
a long relationship, and that like at least Willem was very infatuated with her. But other than that, I was just like, wait, this is like was this like someone he used to deal to and was like obsessed with? Like what movie am I watching right now?
I had a feeling it was an ex-girlfriend scenario right away. So the next day he talks to a psychic and talks about not sleeping and not being happy with his future. I don't understand why the psychic is in this movie.
Yeah, I don't. She looks like the lady from Medium, funny enough.
Oh yeah, Patricia Arquette.
Yeah, she's not Patricia Arquette, but she has the same like get up and vibe as Patricia Arquette in Medium.
Just so many specific mid-2000s
I had
references.
Listen, you're saying that as if you didn't also grow up with a middle-aged mom with anger problems.
I know these two. Listen, again, I know all the references you're making, so I am just stating.
There's one where she's trying to find a dead ghost baby or whatever, and he was in a toy box. Anyway, we should continue on to this movie.
John later gets sent to do a deal for a high-end Swiss client.
I thought he was German.
Played by Victor Gerber in a hospital. He specifically mentions this wouldn't happen in Zurich.
Oh, I don't know where countries are.
Zurich is the capital of Switzerland. So
I just wrote, oh boy, a weird German pedophile. What a great thing to get me out of this movie's vibe.
I thought you specifically said Nazi pedophile. I was like,
I'm looking at my notes right now. It's all caps. Oh boy, a weird German pedophile.
Okay.
What a great thing to get me out of this movie's vibe. He is Aryan as fuck, so you could have just assumed Nazi.
Yes. They meet in a hospital, and then to give Tiss some as he pronounced it, Valium. And when I first heard that, I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh, he has an accent. Okay, cool. I'm less mad, but I was initially very pissed off at the pronunciation of Valium instead of Valium.
For a second, I thought you were saying Willem Dafoe said that, and I just thought, wait a minute, does Willem Dafoe not know how to pronounce Valium? Because I don't believe you.
No. Specifically, an accent choice by Victor Gerber. So while at the hospital, when John's going to leave, he runs into Marianne's sister, Randy, with an I, which I don't know. I like the name Randy for a girl, played by Jane Addams. Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying.
Listen. I like all female names that are male names with an I instead of a Y. Shut up.
Straight guy that doesn't know he's by starter pack. Lady with black hair in a short pixie cut, masculine sounding name.
Well, technically, Marianne had the pixie cut. Randy's had like longer hair, but yeah, she tells him their mother's back in the hospital doing chemo. When Marianne walks in, John convinces Marianne to let him buy her dinner at the cafe, and then they talk about their relationship. In my favorite shot of the movie,
it's a very good shot.
It's basic, like anyone could have done it, but it's just very well done when they're talking about their relationship. Specifically, how John remembers only the good times, and Marianne is remembering all of the bad times. It's shot. They're sitting at a table across from each other, and there's a pillar by the table, and they go shoot it at the other side of the pillar so you can physically see the divide between them and the conversation they're having. It was a very well done shot.
I did enjoy that. There was a caption fuck up at 3124. She says you were an encyclopedia of suicidal fantasies, but the captions changed it to you were an encyclopedia of Swiss auto fantasies, like it was a YouTube video trying to not get demonetized. Later, we're going to find out that Swiss guy was downloading PDF files, and
yep,
it's very funny.
After he unalives someone.
Oh, he unalives a few people in this one. We'll get to it.
But yeah, I really like the conversation, and I feel like as I don't know anyone in my direct family that has dealt with drug addiction or anything like that, but I feel like this is a good conversation of like the different perceptions.
It is, and I thought, because I had forgotten what the description of this movie was, because like literally the opening line of the description of this movie is like, John what's-his-face is a good man with a bad job, and I would contend he is a bad man. Where I thought this movie was going was that Willem Dafoe's character was essentially going to be kind of a physical specter of relapse, of like a figure that would act as temptation to relapse, because that's how he played it up to a certain point in this movie that I will get to. He's very like, come on, don't you remember the good times we had despite the drugs, and like blah, 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 blah. And she's just like, no, for my own health, I can't be around you. And setting very firm boundaries and trying to get him to go away. And it's not a surprise because the director of this movie is a piece of shit. He doesn't think that Willem Dafoe's character is a bad guy. And it's very disorienting with the events that happen in this movie that are Willem Dafoe's character's fault to a large degree.
He just views him as flawed and not bad.
As many predators do.
Yeah. Completely fair.
That's why I was so like locked in for a while up until like the beginning of the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3, where I thought that it was going to be this really poignant metaphor for how addicts are treated by the wider world, and nope. They are just props.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, Paul Schrader was going through a midlife crisis, and in interviews, he has like said he was thinking about what had happened, and then this character came to him in a dream, fully formed.
What a horrible mind Paul Schrader has.
It's such a pretentious, like, I need to tell this story. Like, this character just came up to me. He is a good storyteller, but I think you're right. He definitely views himself as...
I'll push back on that a little bit. You have to have some degree of self-awareness to be a good storyteller. And if you let yourself become too infatuated with a character, and ignore all the things that you are actually saying with the story that you're telling, you're not really telling any kind of coherent story. And I think that's what we get out of this movie is an incoherent story.
Okay. I both agree and disagree with that because there's so much interpretation that can be made for so many films that, like, it's going to be difficult to do that entirely, but I completely see what you're saying in this movie. Yeah, I'm pushing back a little bit overall.
It is a generalization. I'm just saying I think that was this director's flaw and what screwed him up. Just to, like, really clarify, Paul Schrader has some, like, allegations against him. I think he abused an assistant, like sexually assaulted an assistant or something. I'm not 100% sure. Edit boy Jude, insert a thingy here telling me if I'm wrong.
Editing Jude here. In April of 2025, a former assistant of Paul Schrader's accused him of sexual misconduct behind the scenes, especially in 2023. Paul Schrader and the assistant initially attempted to solve the issue out of court, but Paul Schrader refused to give in to the allegations, pushing back against them, leading to the lawsuit. Paul Schrader had some choice words on the subject, especially in regards to cancel culture and the Me Too movement, saying that the culture at large would find him guilty regardless of the evidence, and that a real court of law would show that he was innocent. And that was all he really cared about. I suggest looking into it if you'd like more info, but in general, it seems like Cyan's right here, and Paul Schrader's kind of a douche nozzle. Okay, back to the episode.
But, like, I can absolutely see someone who is, like, that kind of, like, predatory or, like, full of their own, like, self-importance and power to see someone who clearly should have been a temptation and relapse metaphor as a quote-unquote good person.
I feel like a bad research boy who did not look who did not see that bit, because that is fairly recent. I was just looking for stuff he said at the time and, like, did not look into yeah, cool. All right. Cool.
Sorry to drop that. I thought we were all aware. But, like, often the first thing I look up is if someone involved in something is a piece of shit.
Listen, that's the smart way to do things. But I will admit, oftentimes, every now and then, it's like do I need to know if they're a piece of shit?
But you can see what I'm saying, though, right? How Willem Dafoe's character, Dafoe's character is constantly stepping over Marianne's explicitly stated boundaries, but the movie still doesn't think he's a bad guy.
No, I see it now. That does completely change my perception of this film. I still like it as a film, but wow.
Sorry, I had a feeling that we didn't necessarily have the same information. I should have brought that up earlier. I apologize.
No, all good. John does a deal at a high-end restaurant with, like, beautiful artwork, and that is a reoccurring thing. Anytime there's, like, there's a lot of, like,
very
really
obvious
good
music stings while hanging the camera on a piece of art.
The entire, like, four walls of a restaurant, second level of a restaurant, type art.
Yeah, a bit pretentious, IMO, but I can see it also being done in a good movie, so I should probably just ignore that feeling.
Yeah, and it's definitely, like, I wasn't paying attention enough to know exactly what the thing, but I did notice, like, okay, these are all clearly different enough things to... this is clearly visual markers to be like, okay, we're here. Yeah. It's honestly the visual representation of, like, the song.
Yeah.
Like, there really is no subtlety to this. The next day, John sends money to his sister in Sacramento before having a fancy lunch with Anne, who worries about where John will be going after she goes straight.
And they also, once again, talk about fucking horoscopes or whatever. And it's like, the movie clearly expects you to know what the fuck any of this shit means. And I'm sure more people did back in the 90s, but it's just so fucking annoying to me.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to. I believe you. They were talking about horoscopes. Every time I hear anyone talk about horoscopes, my brain just goes blank.
Same. Honestly, same. Full disclosure, I am a Capricorn, so I'm sure someone out there is going to be like, of course they don't believe in horoscopes. They're the sea goat. That's for some reason an Earth sign, I think. Yeah. I really hate it when people treat horoscopes as real. Like that's a personal pet peeve of mine. There is a degree to which it is harmless, but there is also a place that some people take it where it's just like, why do you choose to live this way?
As a Scorpio, I completely agree.
You just looked that up right now. You just looked that up right now.
No, absolutely not. No. I've always known I'm a Scorpio. I'm just saying I agree because Scorpio is like literally the evil sign. Like all Scorpios, like you're ambitious and like to fuck people over, and like you probably like Wall Street. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
We're so old. Go on.
Yeah, I was 18 when that movie came out. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Talladega Nights was one of those DVDs that my brother left behind after he went to college, so...
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
After the lunch, John stops by Marianne's mom's room in the hospital to sleeping Randy to kind of pay respects because, you know, they former mother-in-law and, you know, wanted to do that. Marianne sees him and then they go out to the hallway to make out, like in the middle of the hallway where literally orderlies have to be like, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, that pissed.
Very funny.
I work in a hospital. That pissed me off so fucking much. Not.
I knew it would.
So patients do that. Also, I am convinced that 90% of what people learn in medical school is how to take up the most fucking space in a hallway that they can while doing rounds. It is so fucking annoying. It is so completely unnecessary. Yeah. It might just be because it's a learning hospital and there's obviously going to be like a bunch of like student doctors milling around along with regular doctors to learn, but it's just like, man, I'm trying to clean a fucking room here. You can have this conversation slightly more to the side, and then they move like an inch and it's like my cart can't get through there. Anyway.
I knew you were gonna hate that part.
Also, no one in this goddamn hospital has heard of HIPAA. No one in this fucking hospital has heard of HIPAA.
Yeah.
No patient information is protected in any fucking way. I am a fucking janitor. We have to pay attention to that shit. This is the worst movie hospital I have seen so far in our run of this podcast. This is so fucking... that might have pissed me off more than the astrology, honestly, is just like, hey, shoot the fucking hospital, right? Anyway.
So, what they make out in the hallway, and then before hooking up in Marianne's hotel room in front of a weird painting.
Yeah. We get to see a lot of the Defoe in this movie. The angle, the opening angle when we actually see them like naked together, they're like standing on their knees, like making out and like grabbing each other. Willem Dafoe's ass is so toned that it doesn't really look like his ass cheeks are touching. So if the camera had dipped like a little bit, we would have seen Willem's hole. We would have seen Willem's bright, beautiful bussy, but this movie cheated us out of that. The first line that Marianne says in this scene is, "That's quite an erection."
Yep. And it's actually very funny because, like, if you take what they're saying to each other separately and isolate it,
feels like they're having a different conversation.
Two entirely different conversations. Yeah. Yes.
They're having a completely different conversation. Like, the gist of it is that they're excited to finally be having sex with each other sober. Again, Willem's an alcoholic. He's not sober. Not to, like, diminish the, like, achievement that is like getting off those other drugs. I'm just saying he has more problems to solve. But like the whole scene was like very sweet, but also very like it was not written by a human being. It was...
Yeah, agreed.
It was written by... I'm guessing it was written by some sort of brain slug from Futurama.
Yeah. It's like, I'm dripping is a thing women say too.
Yeah. I mean, if they're trying to be really funny, they do, but like...
Right?
Anyway, we don't see Willem's hog in this movie.
So after sex, which they're on the floor now afterwards, and they're cuddling, and Willem is the little spoon, and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's very cute. Marianne then like gets up and gets dressed and says like, this is the last time we see each other. Again, laying down a very clear boundary.
I don't regret it. I think it was good.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, exactly. Which, good for her.
Yes. And then afterwards, I like this line I wrote down. John is late for his drug dealer shift before getting chewed out by Anne.
I don't think that's a thing.
No, but they act like it is.
You're late for your shift at the drug dealing factory.
Why didn't you clock in? Which, yeah. It's played as if that's the case, but yeah, no, you're right.
Bunch of bougie motherfuckers that have only ever bought drugs and never dealt them.
Yep. So John then goes to a club to deal with Tiss. While there, he clocks an undercover cop played by Robert Cicchini. I believe is how you say his name. Back at John's place, he tries to call Marianne's hotel room, but gets her voicemail.
He calls the hospital afterwards.
This is later.
Okay.
No. This is later. This is the next day. This, he records her name on a tape and listens to it over and over again.
Christ.
Yeah.
But he's a good guy, though. But the thing is, he's a good guy, is what this movie wants you to think, is that he's a good guy.
Yeah. So the next day, he confronts the undercover cop who is milling around him at a laundromat. The cop tells him to call him with something important or leave town. This scene, John then tries to get a hold of Marianne, and then the hotel says she checked out. Then he called the hospital.
Big no-no.
I'll let you go.
Big no-no from the hospital, where he gives minimal information to the hospital. Like, I don't think he really even gives any information to the hospital to show that he's not some kind of stalker, which he is. That he's not, like, trying to murder this woman. And they're just like, this patient died at exactly this morning, and her daughters checked out the body at this time and went to this location. And it's just like horrendous. You know what that might be? Either it was a sincere mistake and these people have no fucking idea how hospitals are supposed to work, or they're once again trying to cover for Willem's character and make him seem as like not as bad of a person as he would be if he had like tracked her down through other means.
I'm going to say it's probably just the least resistance writing.
Yeah.
The writer going through a path of least resistance, and this is the way to
I would say so. I would say so too, but like if you wanted to make him do something shitty without necessarily him being the shitty one in the situation, that would be how you would do it. Again, he's still shitty, but not as shitty as he would be if he, say, like, hunted her down or something.
Yeah. A lot of coincidences in this movie to make John seem like less of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm glad we're talking about this, because this conversation is definitely making me go, oh, maybe this movie isn't going to be as high in my list as I thought it was.
Again, I was all for this movie's vibe, even to this point. Even to, like, because I thought it was going to be saying something else until a very specific point in this movie, when it just threw that...
We're almost there.
Yeah, when it threw it completely away.
So John discovers where the funeral is and shows up to a distraught Marianne, who kicks him out.
Very, like, loud and publicly.
Very messy.
Like, it was about an hour and 38 seconds. I wrote completely reasonable crash out. She just, like, screams at him, like, leave! You are ruining my life! And, like, again, establishing firm boundaries. And then her sister follows Willem Dafoe's character out of the funeral home and apologizes for her.
Well, her sister gets him away from the situation, because he would have just stood there and took it. Like, the sister actually is like, hey, let's leave now.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, she's she's clearly on Willem's character's side here.
Yes.
And in talking to him, completely dismisses Marianne's feelings about the whole situation.
There is a moment at the end during the talking. He says, "I saw your mother last night. You were sleeping," and then you could see that actor fucking nailed that instant clock.
Yes. Oh, that's crazy. What you just told me. That's insane.
No. That's not how I read it. I read it the instant clock of, oh, that's where my sister was. That's why she wasn't there when she died. Okay.
Oh, see, I read it completely differently. That's probably what you're saying. What they probably meant by it. What I interpreted that face as was, and I wrote it down in my notes, the face of a woman about to sue a hospital, because they let a random drug dealer wander into their dying mother's hospital room.
See, and I would say that's more of and again, the movie is definitely on Willem's side, so that movie is her clocking, oh, that's why she's so mad. And I don't know if it's maybe her being more mad at her sister or less mad at her sister, because it's like, oh, okay.
See, that's why I was so confused, because I thought they threw what I thought happened away completely, but what you're saying, it never actually happened at all. I thought that this was where the family was going to turn on him too. And I was so confused when later in the movie they don't.
Nope, she turns on her sister instead, I think.
Which, yeah, I thought this movie was going to be about how people dismiss the feelings and hardships of drug addicts. And
which it kind of does,
but it doesn't realize it.
Yep.
It is part of the problem without realizing it.
After the funeral, John goes to Eddie's place and calls his brother to take him to rehab.
And this is where we get to the funniest kick I believe I have ever seen in a movie. The addict is crawling towards Willem, both begging for drugs, begging for him to not call his brother, and begging for him to not call rehab, and Willem just fucking theater kid dance kicks him in the face.
He's also calling him a piece of shit while doing it the whole time. He's both begging him to be like, don't do it, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Please, I'm begging you, you fucking bastard. It's like, what the... Like...
Yeah. Again, normal movie, pretty inaccurate portrayals of mood swings. But, Willem literally lifts his leg, points his toe, and then slaps him across the face with his foot. No one would be knocked unconscious by that.
It's a very, is this how you want it, Mr. Fosse kick?
What? Wait, what?
Wasn't the dude who did a lot of Broadway stuff, Fosse?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I think that joke works for theater kids, but...
One 80-year-old community theater director just went, ha! Are you thinking of Bob Fosse? Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard the name. I don't know...
He was a Broadway director.
Gotcha.
Did a lot of musical stuff, a lot of dance choreography stuff.
But yeah, he Willem kicks him like he's about to go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3.
That is the joke I made, just with a reference no one understood.
What? Musical timing? Oh, wait, no, your reference was one that no one understood. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yes. So afterwards, John goes to Tiss's penthouse, where he sees Marianne relapsing, and another weird naked body picture.
He sees Marianne has relapsed. He leaves the building, and then Marianne falls from the window. And it is at this point that the movie becomes significantly less interesting, because they threw away the only interesting story that they could have told.
That was all set up, and this was this is the Act 3 thing.
This is the third act. I gotta avenge this woman who was murdered.
Yeah, John goes back home and is very distraught, and on the radio hears that the news is reporting she was alone when she jumped.
Mm-hmm. Which Willem knew she was not.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, John calls the undercover cop and tells him that the jumper wasn't alone in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he gives him. He then stops by a bar and buys a gun.
That he very convincingly plays not knowing how to use.
Yeah.
He is so bad at gun, and the explanation to him of how to use that gun is not a good enough explanation to give someone who does not know how to use a gun.
No.
The guy selling it to him in like a back room is like, you just point and shoot. And it's like, no, this is a revolver. You have to pull the hammer back manually. You have to tell that to him because he will not fucking know. Just like, yeah.
An interesting thing about this whole thing is earlier during the lunch with Anne, he said the thing he was looking to get into is he looking to get into music.
Yeah. Plays no part in any other part of this movie.
But Anne was like, did you already do that? I was like, no, I took acting classes. And it's definitely kind of show you like, oh, okay, he is just very lost and doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do.
Yeah, he's kind of an aimless artist type, which I can relate to. Not the rest of the parts, though.
Which explains why he
kicks so bad.
Why he doesn't know how to use a gun and kicks like that. Also, if this were set in modern times, what podcast would Willem Dafoe's character start?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. It would be... An MLM would be involved for sure.
Yeah.
It would be a health and wellness podcast of some kind. That would very quickly turn into, like, a cult. Either
that, or he gets really into AI.
We're describing Russell Brand. We're just describing Russell Brand. In this movie, Willem Dafoe plays Russell Brand.
Yeah, right?
Slightly better Russell Brand.
The slightest of margins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he stops by a bar and buys a gun, and when he goes to the bar, this bar also has paintings here, and it's all, like, devil and stuff like that, so it's like, okay, like, even less subtle. At this point, it's the same song as they played in the beginning, but that was like a mid-tempo kind of like folky version of the song, and this is more of like an electric rock version of the song, and this version of the song fucking rules. It's on YouTube, it's fucking awesome. I can't listen to it because I can't listen to white people music for a while.
Editing Jude here just to say that the two of them went on about a 10-minute rant about music in different genres, where Jeff tried to once again falsely claim that spooky music cannot also be funky. It was all just kind of a tangent and not really relevant to the rest of the podcast, but they asked me to keep some of it in and keep some of it out, and I wasn't really sure what to do with which, so I just decided to do this little summary, so my voice was also heard. I miss you guys. Bye!
Yeah, John stops by Marianne's funeral, talks to Randy, and just to kind of confirm that Randy knew about Tiz and stuff like that.
Yeah, Randy is immediately dismissive of, like, her sister's struggles, which, again, which, again, if they had just, like, stuck with that theme and not had, like, the ending that they did, they might have been able to salvage it, in my opinion, but, like... They were too infatuated with Willem Dafoe's character and just made it all about him as opposed to the destruction that he has caused in this family's life.
Yep. That's just an aspect of the life and not something to be examined at all. And that's kind of a missed opportunity.
Yep.
John then goes to Anne's, who gets a call from Tiz to meet with John alone. And John's like, do I have to? This doesn't feel good for me.
John's like, I told a cop about him, and I think he knows and is going to murder me about it.
At the very least, I'm a loose end, ooh-woo, and I would really like to not do it alone.
Yeah. Hey, Anne, can you go to this thing with me that I can't tell you why I want to go to this? Want you to go to this thing with me?
Please.
And can you also, and subtext, can you also be real racist about it? And she's like, got it. I got you, Willem.
Speaking of which, what we'll earlier seen at Marianne's, where she talks with an accountant who's a Hasidic Jew. she does kind of, make some jabs at it, and specifically says, "Oh, come stay for lunch. We can talk about Zionism," which is very funny for Susan Sarandon to say. On a meta level, that's very funny.
Yeah. Man.
That is why I didn't read into it.
The more I remember of that scene is just... It's so weird, because also the Hasidic Jewish guy that's her accountant also clearly wants to fuck her. And I mean, it's Susan Sarandon, obviously, but like... Yeah. The way they play it is like, I apologize for this. He says, "You should get married," and like all of that, and hint, to me, maybe. Like
he wants to convert her and fuck her in that order.
I am toning down the exaggeration of his voice.
It's in New York. And there are a lot of areas of New York that have that very that is very prevalent among traditionally Jewish people.
I don't know if this director has violated my trust in him. I actually looked it up. He's Catholic, so
fair. You know what? Completely fair.
I don't know the dynamics here and whether or not they're good. But
this is a perfect example of like a Catholic and or just big religious person thinking they're being woke.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, Susan Sarandon, it takes some convincing, but Susan Sarandon goes with him. And I thought with the psychic earlier, I thought it was going to be revealed that Susan Sarandon's character was going to betray him.
That could have been a way to go with that. Yeah.
Her whole thing. And if I remember correctly, she was mostly right in her predictions. And she was just like, a woman you are very close to is going to betray you. And
yeah, you're right. That would make more sense with the psychic. Yeah.
We certainly would have avoided the awkward ass ending. Anyway, continue. Continue on.
But yeah, the connection between Anne and Tiz was because Tiz was going to be her backer for her cosmetics brand, and so that's why she's trying to like seal the deal with everything. Yeah. And then so they go to Tiz's room. They do a scene where they stop by Foe's place to grab the gun that he bought earlier. I guess necessary to make sure he had it, but also he could have just been carrying it on him this whole time.
Yeah. Considering the director of this addiction movie didn't really seem to want there to be any consequence to Willem still being an alcoholic, I wouldn't have been surprised if he had just left it implied that the gun was on him the entire time. And that might have been the better directorial decision, but no, he just had to have him again very clearly not know how to use that gun. And put it in his pants.
They go to Tiz's hotel, which is sweet hotel, or not a suite, but it's like a hotel room that also has a baseball convention there. Oh yeah, and also I'm pretty sure this was filmed during a garbage strike, and so that's why at the beginning of the movie they're like, Labor Day, the sanitation strike, as a way to explain why there's bags of trash all over the place.
Yeah, how do you think they felt about that? Because, they didn't seem to go either direction with it.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe at the beginning of the thing said to be a little bit union striking. That's inconvenient for me. And then just existed. And it felt more like a way to explain away the look of it rather than a purposeful reason to be in the story.
You know how you explain away the look of it? It's a noir. This movie's a noir. If there's trash on the sidewalks, people aren't gonna be like, what? You're gonna be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird the things movies will choose to explain and will choose to ignore. And it's that did not need to be buttoned up like that. But they go to the hotel, they go to Tiz's room, Anne starts to goes ballistic on the two thugs with guns. Mm-hmm.
Calls one of them a slur.
Yeah, and then Tiz comes out of his separate room and is just like, "Hey, go to the lobby. Like me and John have something to say." And John's like, "Yeah, don't worry, it'll be fine." And then Anne runs out and starts banging on the doors, yelling fire.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Anne. And then Willem gets shot a couple times, shoots the other guys a couple times in a way that he should have missed those shots and should have died there. Yep. And after the bad guys are dead, he limps over to Tiz's room and shoots him and then lies down on the bed.
What should have happened is him shoot himself in the head and the movie's over.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
That would be a better ending for this movie. But what happens is...
This fucking ending.
We cut to a prison visitor area, which apparently is extremely similar to the American Gigolo ending as well.
It's also such a minimum security prisoner area.
Mm-hmm. Ed is talking to John, and I didn't go into details. They talk about what their future will look like at the end. But if you have more details,
no. You are skipping past the weirdest portions.
I am, because I did not care.
They're both talking about how they're cooperating with the investigation, and that Willem will be out in 5 years? They said.
5 to 7 for, on good behavior.
Yeah. And then Willem's like, hey, have we ever fucked before? And Anne's like, we tried once, but we were too high. And he's like, want to fuck when I get out? And she's like, sure. And then he kisses her hand, and it holds on it for the credits.
Way too long. There's even before the credits start.
There's a solid minute and a half before the credits start that it just holds on him kissing her hand, and as
the music plays, and it's like,
again, too infatuated with its protagonists, and so the movie suffered for it. Willem Dafoe or Willem Dafoe?
You know, I'm something of
William Dafoe.
myself.
Willem Dafoe.
After watching this movie before talking about it with you, it would have been different, but no, this is Willem Dafoe.
In the completely normal, non-extended space of time between this episode and the last episode, for a while for me, it was Willem Daquaintance, but then the more I thought about it, it was like, oh no, fuck this guy, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Did we like this movie?
For a bit, and then
Kinda?
No. Kinda.
There are elements of this movie that are great.
Yeah, there were glimpses of greatness in this movie that it squandered. So I will say ultimately no, but I think it had potential if it had been more aware of the story it was actually telling.
This feels like picture perfect meh.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my friends, we've come to the Willem Defend. Join us next episode where we will watch
White Sands from 1992, which, from a brief description of it, seems like
Oh God! Jude's knocking down my door. Oh God, he's here! End the episode. He's here. Goodbye.
I'm fine. Bye. You've been listening to Willem the Filmography. Our theme song is Cherry Metal by Arthur Vink. You can find this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and most places you find podcasts. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and review anywhere you can. Follow us on social media at WillemDaFilms on Blue Sky and Willem.DaFilms on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And share our podcast with anyone you think might like it. If you would like to support monetarily, check out our Willem the Filmography Patreon and support there. Thanks for listening.
Bravo, sir. I've had about enough of your shit too, Billy.